of the Lightfoot.
What's up, Patreon?
Hey.
Hopefully you guys are having a beautiful day. We're here to do the commentary for Lightfoot. And pretty much this is the only time that I will really talk in bulk.
Only hopefully.
Like, does this guy ever shut up?
Kenny, we all know the answer to that. I'm sorry. Go on.
So the reason why is because this song, even though we performed it as a duo, Kit really did. This is the first song that Kit did, basically, where he was writing the lyrics and the music as well. I did some very minor editing of the lyrics,
But important.
but important.
Yeah. No, that, and I'm grateful for that. It's funny. This song was one of those that was so organic and easy to write, and generally the less effort that it takes to get, a song to come about, the better that song usually plays and feels. And honestly, like, you were working on something for a video.
That's right.
And I was essentially just kind of sitting behind him waiting for him to finish.
Yeah.
Like, I'm always waiting for you to finish. But,
Actually, on that note, I'm just gonna
like,
leave.
I got this.
Bye, guys.
But yeah, no, I mean, like, we use our time very efficiently in the studio. So
Yeah, sometimes.
for the most part.
We dick around so much. I mean, like, when we're talking about efficiency, we try to, like, be on hand
Yeah.
with things that, like, we need to get done.
But like, we took extra time to pose these elephants, so it's not all efficiency. But you guys get to enjoy them. So, but yeah, this song just kind of was. It was a very easy, very kind of natural feeling song, and I was really happy that it worked out this way. And Kenny gave me some really great ideas to improve the lyrics, because that's something that he's much better at, and kind of.
I wouldn't say better.
Just have the perspective on, I guess I would say, but
It's just, yeah.
The help was much appreciated, and I think it turned it into a really good song. And kind of the feeling behind this always came from my affinity for kind of Northwest folksy music, and this felt very much like that. And yeah, like, what was your kind of mindset singing it to? Like, were you kind of feeling that vibe that I was?
This is the other thing too, is
it.
that it was easy, I think, to get a good grasp on this song, even though we had only played it like maybe 2 times through before we started recording.
From writing to recording, there was very little like rehearsal. It was one of the ways actually we work really well together is a lot of the stuff that we do in the studio is almost kind of an impromptu thing. Like, we have the ability to just kind of play around with things, and that freedom kind of gives us, that ability to come up with stuff very, very freely. So
It was also so fresh that, and you'll see this in the video, but off screen, I had the lyrics written out because I didn't have them memorized.
Yeah.
Like, there was.
yeah.
It was that quick of kind of like a turnover in terms of like us, or Kit writing the song and us like practicing it like a couple times and just like saying, hey, this is what we're going to do. And we did kind of like the production stuff of like layering in and out of like some of the harmonies, like minor things at the very end.
I was going to say everything else kind of, as we were adding layers and working on it, the right thing kind of pops out from the process. And I think that all of the stuff that we did extra, which we'll talk about as we're watching the video, at least on the audio side, a lot of things just feel very natural. The way that we use the mix and the effects and again, the style of music lends itself so well to our process that it was a very effortless kind of thing. And I don't say that to brag, although I do a little bit. But like, I mean, whenever anything just feels natural and turns out like this, like I'm proud of it. So
yeah, and this is kind of like a classic. This is more of a classic duo song than I would say some of the other. It's not like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, recently we've been definitely like going outside of our usual purview, and I actually have been enjoying that. But this one's more in line with how we've always kind of written, where like we have an idea, we work it over, and then we just kind of go like we hit the ground running as quickly as possible. And all of this came together pretty much within the same day. I know that I wrote it the day before, and then we came back in and just did all of it the next day. So much so that I actually needed the lyrics in front of me too, and I wrote them.
What am I saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, and the inspiration for the lyrics of the song. I said this is the first one that we've done where you've written the lyrics for. You wanted to. I remember you saying you wanted to try to like make it somewhat vague and relatable, but like there is more kind of like deep diving with like the lyrics.
Yeah, like in a general sense, the lyrics are kind of about coming to terms with who you are, and that revelation basically ostracizing you or separating you from family and friends. And more specifically, this is kind of a story about someone who has lost their faith and comes out with that information because they want to be honest in who they are, and then they get rejected and kind of tossed out from it. And so it's just kind of a wanderer's song, but also finding that strength to, now that you've accepted who you are, you've, kind of come to a place where you know yourself better, that you really do have the strength to carry on, even if there are people that you can't bring with you, kind of thing. It's specifically more about that, and some stuff that I think we can all relate to in a certain sense.
Yeah.
But
well, I think the main line in the chorus is something that really stands out, like the path of the Lightfoot. I mean, like I like that kind of word. It's not like a conventional, like it's kind of like Lightfoot is just something you kind of conjured up.
Yeah.
But I like that kind of imagery in this song as well.
Well, and that comes from those traditions of like a Nothing Man, Leatherman.
Oh yeah.
Almost like a 70s kind of folks, like think like a Cat Stevens or something, or Don McLean or something, where there's a story, but there needs to be a name, there needs to be something that sets this aside. And I always thought that was a really cool little phrase that could mean a lot of things, but specifically something that just like even just the fragile nature of the acceptance of yourself, but being completely separate from everyone. Yeah. It's like you're going to tread like with a lot less weight on your shoulders.
Yeah.
It's kind of, again, there's a bunch of different ways you can take that, but I like the way it came together, and your performance of it was definitely what I was hearing in my head. Even better.
Yeah, it was really a great song to tackle. I remember like listening to it a bunch once we got done recording it, and of course I listened to it a lot like for the music video, and I was just really happy. Again, this is another kind of like nice bare bones like track that just came together pretty effortlessly. Let's start the track.
Let's do it. Okay, now stop.
Hammer time.
This opening shot, by the way, the title card and everything is cool. The opening shot of me, I mean, I look good.
Well, that was something that I was really happy with how we shot this, is we were being a little bit more intentional with the light in the studio, or lack of light.
Yeah.
We were literally like changing the light bulbs in the studio.
Yeah.
Like trying to reposition them when we were just doing the commentary.
You got to start buying the warranty on those, because they just don't seem to really do it. The famous "I cut your head off" shot.
Oh yeah. So
I didn't think people needed to see the top of his head. No.
But yeah, one of the shots, it was kind of tough to work with, just of me, because there was a lot of shots where my head was kind of cut off. But I think that, especially with the kind of like cinematic bars, it was kind of easy to still salvage the shot, which was totally fine.
Yeah, we get this cinematic like Lawrence of Arabia, like panoramas and stuff, which is nice. But I love that split screen too, by the way. That
and that
kind of soft boundary thing is really cool, like really cool.
Yeah. Again, like I really do love these shots, these kind of like angelic looking shots where the light is kind of like permeating over your head and just kind of like hovering right
lighting
there.
up my super fine hair.
Yeah. Well,
straight through
even that shot, the
aliens.
black and white one of Kit, I think is still probably like one of my favorite shots, just because you're so really well defined and outlined in it, and it kind of almost looks like it's a spotlight on you. And of course, I think it goes along well with the chorus, kind of like the Lightfoot, where it's kind of like has that angelic kind of coming into view.
Yeah, there's this. I feel like there's this theme of a weightlessness, or a even like a floating through life kind of feeling, and I like that. The slide guitar, by the way, is kind of my version of trying to vocalize that feeling. I guess like I always feel that slide is. It's extremely expressive and has more emotion to it when you use it right, and so that made sense to do it here. Plus, I do have to also mention that this Teton guitar, it does everything so well, and so like doing these kind of folksy songs, it really shines because it has such a wide, big sound and very articulate, and the way obviously that we record, we have a few inputs, so I'm really happy that I have access to that, like, because it kind of makes the song in a lot of ways, that sound. So much so that I've featured it in every single shot, like in this. But
yeah, I remember also, like I said, kind of like when we were recording the vocals for this, like it's a very deep song for me. Like it's deep. Not that it wasn't out of my range, but it was a song that I've never really sung this low before. So we were kind of like joking around how like some of the word or like phrases kind of like this Johnny Cash style.
Yeah, a little drum
get
cash.
down low.
Drum cash. Well, and to that point too, there are two like modulations in this. It's in 3 different keys, this song.
With the bridge as well.
Yeah, like basically the bridge, the chorus, and the verse are all in different keys, and that was when that stuff kind of comes out naturally too. It's a good sign when you can get that much like harmonic information into something that doesn't sound like it's really doing that. Like I'm very happy with the way that turned out. Plus, it highlights the vocals a little bit more. Yeah. Including this last chorus where we didn't do any backup vocals. We dropped all of the reverb and like almost all the reverb, and just as intimate as possible, because at the end, there isn't necessarily a closure. Like in the story of the song, like I feel like, this person, or myself, like I have, however you're kind of putting yourself in that role, it's like, I'm not at the end of the story yet. Like, this is literally just the beginning of the story. Like, this has happened, but there's a new thing, this season that is coming up is very important, that I really stay strong and, be myself and own my person as not being, wrong or not being somehow broken. It's like, I am me kind of thing. Again, I think it treads on all of those things without being too specific, but that's what it means to me. And,
it's a beautifully written song
and beautifully edited and produced a video.
So that's kind of like what we're obviously for that song. We've been trying to crank out a bunch of things. We did Nah I'm Good. We also did this month, or I should say this past month, we released Nah I'm Good, Ocean Eyes by Billie Eilish and Lightfoot. And it's funny because before we even started like doing the commentary, we kind of had to like brush up on like, the stuff, since this is all so fresh. And again, it's because of your help and support, we're able to like really hone in and concentrate on the original material. And we're working on a new song right now. Hopefully we'll be able to turn this one out on Monday. It's Saturday today for us, and in a couple days we'll probably start trying to record Sloppy Joe Western. That's what the title.
It's the working title.
What's the working title?
Now I want Sloppy Joes. Oh, that sounds good. This song makes me
like
hungry.
a extra sloppy. But yeah, thank you again for all your continued support, and we love you guys. Cheers.
2 minutes in heaven is better than 1 minute in heaven. Lacey thinks we need to cover.
Some Flight of the
And I was like,
Conchords. Hells
absolutely.
yes.
Like, 'cause these are my
We've
business
been
socks.
holding out on that for way too long.
No joke. I think we should do that. And when you're in the room, depending, or it was like when you're on the street, depending on the street, you're definitely in the top 3. It was like you could be an air hostess in the '60s or a high class prostitute, but I wouldn't quit your day job. That's probably my favorite song that they do, but Business Time would be good too.
Yeah, Business Time is a classic.
All right, now that we got all that on record,
cool.
Business Time.
It's business time now.
Are we recording on here too?
Yeah.
Oh wow, you got all this. Hi, us in the future. Hi, Kenny, as you're editing this.
You mean in the
yeah,
past?
I'm looking at you. I can see through the monitor.
Like, I'm looking into the past right now.
It's like you're looking at a dead man. It's like if you're watching this, it's gone terribly wrong. We should do like a Blair Witch video, or something, like some sort of just like kid finally snapped. You're like running around, like you're hiding behind the blue bowl over here. I'm just like, Kenny, clink, 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 come out and play.
Don't take the red pill, Kenny.
Yeah.
Don't take the red pill.
I'm just like the whole video. He was like, I was editing the video and I realized that Kit didn't blink the entire time. I'm just over here and my like head just keeps like turning slightly until it's like turn. Like my head does a full rotation during the video. You're like
fucking poltergeist shit.
We still need to do kind of a non sequitur, like absurd video where we show like The Exorcist or something.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
The Exorcist. That's what
Poltergeist
it was.
would be good too.
Yeah.
They're here. Yeah, it'd be just like a oh.
It would be easy to do. All you have to do is put like your clothes
backwards,
on backwards, and then
There's a really good Vine I'll have to show you that they did that where it's like he's sitting in the chair but he's got the hoodie on backwards. They pull it off. He's like. All right, I think we're in the right frame of mind.
Cool.
I don't know what to do if I don't have a guitar in my hands or something.
Cool. Yeah.